Hey guys, your boy 4ID. I'm an artist and a visual designer, and today I want to talk about something kind of different. I think I'm very happy with art right now, and the reason why I can say I'm very happy with art right now is because I really thought that art was getting to a point where we feel like it's on the decline, and people tend there's almost nothing new that can be created under the sun. It's like we're kind of going extinct. I'm not extinct in the sense of there's no art anymore, but extinct in the sense of there are little to no artists. And this is something that can come to anybody's mind because when your view is saturated by what you see on social media and the advent of AI and the amount of technology that is coming around and the fact that most people you can even see in pages like I've been posting recently and I've been seeing many pages that I felt like back then would have a lot of people admiring their works and everything, and I don't see that anymore. This is it's weird for me to think about, but I don't really see that as much because I feel like now there's a problem of we've seen too many. We can't even sit in a place and admire a work for a while because at the end of the day you're going to scroll and that work has left your mind. There's so many other works that's coming up, and now there's so many other movies that are coming up. There's so many other cartoons that are coming up, and so we don't really have the chance to admire a work. We don't really have the time to revere or reference a work now because you might like a work, but you don't. How many artists do you know? I mean, that's the question. Like, you can think of somebody like Da Vinci. You can think of the older artists that I probably react to. But right now, it's almost like you don't really know that many artists. At least not many new artists. Most people don't. At least even when it comes to modern art, even when you say, "Yo, there's a rise in modern art and art is becoming so minimalist," and you can hear a person sold for so and so amount, like 4 point something billion or million, let me say million, 4 point something million, and you're looking at this artwork, and there's so much sensationalism and so much people screaming about the works and everything, and you just realize, like, I don't even know who that person is. I don't know the person that made the artwork of the. Sorry, I'm not going to edit this, so I would have put the pictures and everything, but I'm not going to put them. But I don't even know the name of the person that made that banana on the wall painting or banana on the wall artwork. I don't know the name of the person that made the plain blue canvas. I don't know the name of all these people. All I know is that they created works. But because of the amount of saturation of artists that we are having these days, and the level of hyperactiveness that is happening nowadays, and the fact that before you can admire one work, there's another work right there. Before you can hype up an exhibition, there's another exhibition right next to your exhibition, or there's another exhibition happening next week. And so people cannot even sit down and be like, "Yo, do you know this particular artist? I'm so obsessed with this person." And so my question has always been, even before AI became a thing, my question has always been, where do we go from here? Like, what's the end product of this? Are we going to get to a point where people do not see art the way they do anymore? People do not admire art the way they do anymore. And so there's no timeless artwork. But then I think recently I've been seeing some artworks and I'm like, yo, honestly, this is almost nihilistic. But I almost feel like it's almost getting extinct. But then, like I said, the reason why I feel like there's so much more to do is because as much as there's so many artworks, works of art that are existing in the world today, the world doesn't feel more artistic than before. I don't know if you would understand what I mean, but I don't feel like the world has evolved to a point where I feel like the world has actually evolved to a point where we have so many artworks, we have so many artists, we have a long list of artists, but the world is less artistic. And so you're moving around the streets and everything feels plain. You're looking at the walls and all the walls feel plain. There's nobody around. There's no action. There's nothing that feels artistic. There's no performance. There's no feeling of there's no romanticized feeling around the world. The way you think of, like, let me say, the Vaticans, and the fact that there were sculptures around and you can walk the streets and see artworks everywhere. And right now it's not feeling like that. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like the world is plain, but the only place that you see artworks is on our phones and in exhibition houses. And so that's one of the biggest problems. I feel like we really should work towards something. And this can make us a better artist, but also, if we don't work towards this, can actually lead us to a point where we lose our positions as artists in the world today. As an artist, if you're going to be questioning like, yo, AI is taking my job, then yo, you should be outside in the first place. Why are you not creating outside? Why are you not painting walls? Why is your compound wall, your house wall, the color of it's plain color? Why is the pillar in your house not made of like some kind of nice columns and everything? Why are the bosses around you not painted correct, like painted artistically? So there's still a lot of things that we can do, and the way we feel like, yo, um this is a problem, the fact that this whole new technology is coming out, we can always redirect our creation to something else. And that's one of the reasons why I created my page, because I felt like, yo, I'm kind of bored of making digital art that I know very well not anybody can make, but would leave people's mind moments after they see it. Like, when you make art in the first place, you're trying to pass a message. But when I got to a point where my message wasn't going as far because people could not listen to them, then that's when I started feeling like, yeah, maybe I should start making content. Maybe I should redirect that thought process to content. And that's why my page is not mainly about how to paint. I'm not really talking about, oh, this is the tutorial on how to draw, because if I teach you how to draw, then you're just going to end up rising and rising till you land to the point where I am at this point, where it's like, oh, I know how to draw, but what's the point of drawing now? Like, why do I need to know how to draw? But being a creator will never go extinct. Being an artist will never go extinct. Being a draftsman can go extinct. Being a craftsman can go extinct. Being a wall painter can go extinct. Maybe in a long time. But at the same time, it can. But being a creator, that cannot go extinct. You might be an artist that knows maths. You might be an artist that um, knows how to use hair to make artworks. Sorry, there's somebody around. But you might be an artist that knows how to use hair to make artwork. You might be an artist that knows how to use the best scrap or whatever it is. That is not going to go extinct. Even then, there's a level of imperfection that you have that makes your artwork even more revered. And so you're not going to go extinct. Your place in art is only going to be determined by how much evolution you can take. Same way when the camera came along, artists did not go extinct. That's the same way you should think. The camera did not take away art. It probably reduced our craving for exploration, our craving for learning about the human body, since we can just use pictures as references. But it did not take that away. Art still remained art. So find another way. Maybe art will become more of a physical thing than a digital thing now. Maybe it will be more of an environmental thing. Maybe artists will start taking on architecture. Maybe we'll start taking up sculpture more. And maybe our sculptural pieces will not just be locked up in galleries anymore. Maybe our sculptures can now be going into churches, into shrines, into streets. Maybe you can just make a sculpture and keep it on the side of the road. That is where art should be now. That is what I imagine art should look like. Our world should not just remain so bare and plain and straight and cubical. It should have like organic forms to it. And so let us leave this whole who can paint better. Let's leave it to AI. I'm not saying that you should redirect yourself and not paint anymore. Like, still do that. But redirect your energy. Try as much as possible to remember that you are creating, you're not imitating. So please let's die out this whole conversation of what is taking your job and step out. Find out that, oh, yeah, I can learn from this. This is something I can do. And then slowly and steadily, you get to a point where you'd find your market. You'd find something that you can do, and that is known as your own creation. So thank you very much for listening to this particular video, and I'll see you in the next video. Again, my name is 4ID. I'm an artist and visual designer. Please subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it to your friends, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.